Qapla!
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Tora. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember the 50 waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
You come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. You here to make war? We surrender. Important things are giving you peace.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework planet. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. You're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest. A special pride never written before. Or sings tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird O' Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird O' Prey 5 Qapla, and welcome to Deep Space Nine Wednesday for October 21st, 2020. Today we're going to watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine Season 4, Episode 5, Indiscretion, which is a Gul Dukat episode. It's Major Kira gets word that there are some Bajoran prisoners being held in a Cardassian prison camp, and the civilian Cardassian government wants to send a Cardassian along because it was a Cardassian ship that crashed, and sure enough it was Gul Dukat, and they get there and she finds out Gul Dukat is really there to kill his own daughter because it would be a terrible embarrassment to find out he had a daughter with a Bajoran slave. And yet in the end, Gul Dukat's heart is too big. You know, and Kira has a gun to his head, but also he just decides not to kill his daughter. He loves her, and so, sons of bitches, that the fucking gardeners, they're outside, they're using their damn leaf blowers. Why are they blowing leaves? All the leaves are off the trees. Anyway, oh my God. It's the loudest it's ever been. Is the window open? Son of a bitch. Anyway, so that's basically what happens. That's Indiscretion. Gul Dukat's daughter. We get to meet Ziyal for the first time in this episode. Very emotional episode. Kira and Gul Dukat centric episode. We get to learn more about Cardassian families and their home life, how strong the family is to a Cardassian, not a Kardashian, but a Cardassian. And so it's a good episode. At least I remember it to be a good episode, and I'm glad you guys are choosing to come along and rewatch it with me. I do have a little surprise we'll put on right before we watch the actual episode. Just a short something, and we can talk about it more later. But I know there's a ton of chat going on today because I got this set up at way early this morning. Unfortunately, when I came back to YouTube, Most of it was gone. The first chat I see is from 54.5 Access Radio saying, Wonderbar, a Gul Dukat episode. I assume that was an autocorrect for wonderful. I'm not 100% sure. Cinnabon Bunny says hello. Qapla Cinnabon Bunny, governor of Karoga. Josh Street says breaking news. The Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull Wednesday streams have been canceled to show you a new movie, Burnham and the Crystal Ghostbusters 2016. If it came out, we could watch it. Josh reads, so Bird of Prey, hope you enjoy the horror movie. There's no, oh, that's a horror movie? Well, then we're not going to watch it. Life with Matthew says, Qapla. Bird of Prey and all, Qapla, Life with Matthew. The Bee's Nest film says, yo, Bee's Nest. 47 Yorktown says, hello, young sir. Hello to you. Star Trek Nitpicker says, Bird knows. What does Bird knows? Does my nose knows? Sassy's nose knows. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Bird of Prey and chat. Greetings, Mike Richards. 47 Yorktown says, I can hear that. I'm sure you can. Half of Queens could hear it. Lywood Matthews says, Bird of Prey, all your leaves are off the trees? No, actually they're not. There's still, I'd say 25% are still on the trees. It's just the point. Yeah, no, not all our leaves are off the trees. We haven't started losing them yet down here. We've lost most. The majority are gone for sure. Thomas Potts says, Bird is suppressing the chat. I'm not suppressing the chat. Mike Richards says, Kurdistani shock troops, aka gardeners. Yeah. I'm banishing all our landscapers to Kurdistan. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Bird of Prey, Mama Prey, Sisso Prey, Chico Prey, and fellow nerds. Thank you, Mountains of Elysium. Captain Trek says, greetings, Qapla, greetings, Captain. The Intended says, Burnham and the Crystal Ghostbuster, laughing. And Mountains of Elysium says, and greetings to Sassy, Chaser of Andorians, Eater of Packlid, Stalker of Klingons, the Filer of Vulcans, and the Scourge of Cardassia. Awoo! She's looking at me. She's looking at me like, you crazy. You're a crazy human. Rock Solid Productions, Qapla, he's saying hashtag Dear Bop, Dear Bop. Dear Bop, a couple of days, two more days till Friday. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey, Qapla. Says 47 Yorktown was first. I'm sure he was. He always is. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, my friend Captain Trek. And Joseph Patrick says, greetings from the future. Greetings, Joseph. Captain Trek says, Mountains of Elysium, greetings to his friend. Not Ryan Johnson says, hello, and Qapla. Bird deleted all the early comments in chat. I didn't delete them. They're just gone. YouTube just erases them. Mountains of Elysium says, greetings, Not Ryan Johnson. And Not Ryan Johnson says, greetings to Mountains of Elysium. So, I should have. Okay, let's look at that beautiful picture of the space station before we get started. I forgot to do that. Even though I had record amount of time before I started streaming today, for some reason I forgot to put the I forgot to get the screenshots ready. So as you guys know, as typical with our Deep Space Nine streams, you can, if you have your own copy of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, or you have Hulu, Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, or CBS All Access, you can go ahead and watch Star Trek Deep Space Nine on the streaming service. If you have your own DVD, great, put it in your DVD drive. If you have a digital copy, get it ready. And if you don't have any of those and you want to watch it, you can go along and watch it in our screening room. The address of the screening room is right down that way. https://www.birdofprey. Actually, you don't need the www. birdofprey5.com/sr. And thank you, Arabic Sonder, Qapla, with a $1 super chat. I'm sure it will come up momentarily. So if you head to the screening room, you watch it, I'll hit play. And when I hit play, it starts. And that's it. You watch it. You can't stop it. You can't pause it. You can change the volume. But other than that, you just watch it. I watch it. We all watch it. I comment, and that is that, as they say. So it's now 5:02 p.m. So I'm definitely after the actual start time. So I want to show you guys a little something I was working on. Jeff Franklin mentioned something one day, and it kind of just clicked in my head. I was thinking about doing this, but then it's like, oh, I should do it in connection with Deep Space Nine, and so I'm going to do this. Mike Richards' VHS Beta 8mm film. Now, if you have any of those, sure, why not? Mountains of Elysium says hashtag vote Rainbow Unicorn 2020. Deej Odyssey for president and 1,000 subs. Well, I already voted for president, so it's not Deej. But in 2024, if Deej is running and I'm not, I will certainly consider it. And there's Aravic Saunders' super chat finally came through. Thank you, Aravic, again. LDG Pixels, first citizen of Karoga, Qapla, LDG. Good to see you. Okay, so here's this. I don't know what it is. I don't know, but you'll see. You'll see what it is, and you. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Might be. Hello, Joe. It's me, future you. If you're getting this right, I am contacting you from 25 years in the future. You should be seeing this shortly before Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4, Episode 5, Indiscretion is about to air on WPIX TV, Channel 11. You are watching in your bedroom in Canarsie, Brooklyn. You are still 16 years old. Your 17th birthday is a couple weeks away, and there is so much for me to tell you. I only have a few minutes. I need you to be ready on November 13th, the night of your birthday. There will be another Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Little Green Men, the best episode in a long time, one of your favorite episodes of Star Trek. And yes, 25 years later, you are still talking about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. You need to be ready. I will have a 10-minute message. I only have a minute or so left to go before the space-time continuum breaks down. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to give you for proof. Tonight's episode, there's a Gul Dukat has a daughter, and yes, she becomes a recurring character on the show. But there's no way to prove that. I guess I could have read it in TV Guide, but you and I both know I don't read TV Guide. What could I do to prove it to you? I don't know. I didn't expect to open this portal. I didn't look up any lottery numbers. Buy stock. I don't know. Yahoo, Google, anything that sounds familiar. Buy those stocks, but don't do too much. It's gonna be a shitty few years, but for the most part, everything will be okay. I gotta go. I'm losing signal. In 2 weeks, your birthday, November 13th. Come back, watch Deep Space Nine. The episode will be Little Green Men. I will have a full 10 minutes, and I will do some research, and I will tell you about your future. Hang on, and I will see you then. Just for God's sakes, don't do anything stupid. Okay, you gotta still act like I didn't tell you this, or else the whole. Wow. I don't know. We're gonna see. What could you tell yourself 25 years in the past? I'm going to have 10 minutes. If you had 10 minutes to send a video to yourself 25 years ago, what would you say? You know, would you tell them about your future? Would you tell them about 9/11? Would you tell them about the pandemic? Would you tell them about who is going to be elected? Would you tell them about lottery numbers? Would you tell them about sports scores? I don't know. I'm going to seriously consider what I would tell myself 25 years in the past. Um, things are not great, obviously, for me right now, but let's face it, they could always be worse. I don't know. But I'm going to think about it very hard over the next week. And we're going to get a video together and send it to the past. And maybe my past self gets to see it, maybe not. But I challenge all of you as we come up on the end of the year, as we come up on the end of 2020, consider making a video, whether you're a YouTube content creator or not. Okay, consider making a video to send to yourself that if yourself watched it 25 years ago, what would you do different? What would you tell yourself about the future? And then we will have a bunch of these videos, and I'm curious what other people will say and do. I'm going to release my video on or about November 13th. It's a Friday is this year. November 13th is a Friday. It's my birthday. On the November 11th, Wednesday, is when we're going to be watching Little Green Men. So somewhere between there, I will be releasing my 10-minute video to my past self. And I think it's going to be fun. Might be sad. I don't know. Some of it might be sad. Some of it might be entertaining. But I think it's a pretty interesting idea. Now, the challenge is you get 10 minutes. 10 minutes. And then you're going to cut it off. You've got to figure out what you want to say in 10 minutes. You got to make it so it's believable enough that they believe, what you're telling them, I guess. But you also don't want to, you don't want to screw up the time continuum too much, because if you tell them too much, then everything might have changed. It'd be completely useless. If you have a death in your family, maybe you can try and stop it, but think of all the implications that'll have for the rest of the next 20 years or 25 years. So that's what I'm doing, and I challenge you all to do the same before the year is over. I'm going to try to get it done by the 13th, because that would be it would go to my 17th birthday. 25 years. This November 13th minus 25 years would be my 17th birthday. I literally get to start driving on my 17th birthday. I already have the Jeep, but I don't think I'm allowed to drive it yet until I actually hit 17, if I recall what was going on in my life at that time. Yeah. It's going to be a big blizzard. I could tell them that. It's going to be a big blizzard this first year. Yeah. Star Trek Nitpicker says, nice. I also visited myself in the future on YouTube. Awesome, Star Trek Nitpickers. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, tell Past Bop to stay out of New York on 9/11. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to say something about 9/11. I've been thinking about it for a while, and I don't know. I don't know how detailed I want to get into it. Dee Dee says, Qapla, Bird of Prey, how's the whole family? Hope Grandma O'Prey is doing okay. Dee Dee, I honestly haven't heard from them today, and I was afraid to call, figuring no news is good news. Mike Richards says, and Sheila Lebowski has the hots for you. Sheila Lebowski has the hots for me? Is that something I have to tell myself? The intendant waves or claps. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Funny how Past Bird is wearing the same shirt you are now. No, I was sending it to my past self. Okay? I was sending it to my past self. I was able to open the portal earlier today, but I realized I only have about 10 minutes of portal energy left. So I didn't want to waste it all today when I hadn't done any research. So I'm going to do some research. I'll give my past self some good facts. Maybe a lottery number, maybe some better stock tips. This was just what I could think of offhand. I'm saving the bulk of it for a good 10-minute session that I can explain what I need to explain. BBB Sis O'Prey is in the house, says nothing. I'd say nothing. Of course you would. I have to say something. Okay, I have to say something. I think it's only fair I do. The intendant is, yep, I'd wreck the space-time continuum. Roxanne says, don't marry first wife, the second wife, marry the third wife back when you were 21, and don't waste time. Well, that's something you could send to your younger self. Thomas is bird of prey. I would tell myself to jump off a bridge, but then how would I tell my past self if he did that, son of a bitch? Star Trek Nitpicker says, that sounds like the plot of the USS New York Season 2, time travel and loops. Awesome, time loops. Awesome. The Bee's Nest Film says, I'm friends with the stunt woman that was on Trek The Next Generation. Very cool. Mountain of Legion is a bird of prey. I'm not sure what I'd say, but I'm pretty sure my 17-year-old me would say, who the F is this a-hole? I do have to address to my 17-year-old self why all the hair is gone. Okay? He's not going to understand. My 17-year-old self's hair was so thick. Okay? So thick. A crazy amount of thickness. It's I don't have to tell him it's going to move quickly. I'm going to lose it quickly once I start college. Enjoy it now. I don't know if starting Rogaine at that point will be of any use, but I doubt it. Rock Solid says, bird of prey, tell past bird that you'll be in the hotel room with a woman. She spills stuff onto your bed and wants to share a bed with you because she's into you and you're not smart enough to realize it. You know, Rock Solid, that's honestly something I might tell myself. But then if I do that, that completely changes my timeline and my life from there. So it's tough. I want to say that, but if I say that, then almost anything after that becomes completely useless because it totally puts life on a different trajectory. Star Trek Nitpicker says, I'd say protect John Connor. I would say protect Star Trek, okay? Make sure a guy named Alex Kurtzman never gets next to near Star Trek. I don't know how to do it, but just, goddamn it, find this guy Alex Kurtzman, become his friend, and steer him away from Star Trek. Tell him he would be great in the Harry Potter films or something. I don't know. And he's like, what's Harry Potter? Good. You know what? Write the Harry Potter and then give it to Alex Kurtzman. Not Ryan Johnson says, bird of prey, of all the things you could have warned yourself about, you should have chosen all the time Sis O'Prey throws things at you. There's going to be a day when you're on YouTube. You don't know what YouTube is yet, but you'll be video conferencing yourself to people all over the world. And Sis O'Prey is going to throw a donut at you. And just be ready to catch the donut. Nitpicker says, Ice Bucket Girl. Yes, I know. Ice Bucket Girl is certainly something on the list I have to strongly consider. Eastland Burkholder says, do you ever see Northern Exposure? No, I have not. Young girl asks about all the plans we had speaking to older self. I've never seen Northern Exposure. Roxodds is bird of prey, and I wasn't saying that to be mean. I'm saying it because I know it's a regret you have, and you'd like to be able to erase that regret. Yes and no, Rock Solid. Yes and no. Yes, it's a regret, but if I did change it, then it becomes unpredictable, and I The only thing I dislike more than regrets is unpredictability. I feel like there's one main thing I need to prevent, and that's me getting sick in 2009. That's the main thing. Now that's going to change everything else, but I gotta get that across first and foremost, and then to be honest, I could give myself the information to become independently wealthy and not ever have to work. But I quite enjoyed my time working for the first few years, and I think I learned quite a bit, and I wouldn't want to not learn those lessons. So I feel like, even though I will want to give myself some means of becoming independently wealthy, I wouldn't want to give myself those means until 2006 or 2007 or so. But that's just me. Unfortunately for Mama Pray and Dad, yes, Mama Pray. Mhm.
And still take that job.
I know, but that's going to be a very hard sell to be independently wealthy and still take the job and still enjoy it. But I guess that's what I'd have to try. I mean, we should get the money, if not for me, but for the family. It probably wouldn't be right for me to forego getting extra money. Not Ryan Judge says, Bird using the phrase crazy amount of thickness is something none of us want to ever hear. Did I say that?
No.
Sickness. Did I say? I don't think I ever said thickness. Eric Saunders says, no, let Harry Potter be. No, Harry Potter might have to be sacrificed. Eastland says, are we not allowed to just harm or kill Kurtzman? I don't want to go to jail. I'll tell you that much. I think it'd be easier to just give him a different project than risk going to prison. I am still good for tomorrow if you're listening. Otherwise, I will text you back on Twitter once I get off. Nitpicker says, I say start a YouTube channel earlier. Northern Exposure was great. That might be something. Start a YouTube channel right after Star Trek Discovery and wear a face mask and talk about how terrible Star Trek Discovery is. And that's a possibility. Again, though, if I've made millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in the stock market, will I have any desire to go on YouTube? Probably not. I'd probably be having Jeep design custom Jeeps for me and then driving around the world. Qapla, John Araki. Rock Solid says, Bird of Prey, prepare yourself for the fact that Frank and Freddy... No, it's not true. Eastland says, I want to bump Lucas off of Star Wars movies after the original trilogy. He makes all sorts of films. I don't know if I would bump Lucas off of Star Wars. Jeff Franklin is quite upset. Jeff, what could you tell yourself 25 years ago? Maybe it will make things better. So the doorbell rang, but I don't see anybody up there. And Mama Pray is already outside, so maybe she's speaking to them. Eastland says, come up with a name like Doom Zoom Cock. Yeah, well, something. I don't want to steal Doomcock's name, but I'm just saying a masked person doling out the truth of Star Trek Discovery. Clearly there's a need for that. There's a market for it. And for those who say that Doomcock only gives negative reviews, you got to watch today's review of The Mandalorian. The man did a great positive review of season 1 of The Mandalorian. So no hate there. It's certainly, and he's done other positive reviews. This is just another one. Jeff Franklin says it's a ghost. It's a ghost. I'm sorry, Jeff. Ghosts can be annoying. Ghosts can be annoying. But with that, guys, let us get started on this episode. Let us get started on this episode. I am headed over to the screening room. Let's get the window up and running. And so head on over to the screening room, birdopray5.com/SR. I have to turn off the audio. There we go. So you guys cannot hear it. And I'm going to go ahead and hit play. I'm going to count down. This is, again, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4, Episode 5, Indiscretion. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Worf to Major Kira. Kira, here's an incoming transmission from Sraska Khan. He claims to be an old friend. He says, put him through. Mama, pray you know the doorbell rang while you were out there? The doorbell rang while you were out there. So this guy has some, he said, not more than a rumor. He's got evidence of a missing Cardassian ship. He can't bring it to Deep Space Nine. So the Tholians are after him. It'd be better if Kira came to him to get this evidence of this Cardassian ship. It's been 6 years. Even if he had found pieces of the Lebanon, there's no, it doesn't mean there'll be survivors. And he knows only Kira is going to be able to find that out. Because he knows she's going to go looking. Oh, Jeff says the ghost rang my doorbell. No, I guess it was what, UPS?
Yes.
No, I don't think Diana's still on. Being I already started the Star Trek episode. Sisso Pray, if you're still here, let us know. Oh, shit. You do. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Bolivia in the house. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Da da da. Joseph Patrick says, Addy in stereo, greetings to Bolivia from Slovakia. So, Odo is going through all the different security things. She's heard the name before. He was arrested for trying to break into the SRC's office. Now he's taking up pickpocketing. Odo says you should admire him for his persistence. It was a joke. It was a joke. Kira doesn't get it. She's not in a joking mood. She has a lead on the rudabout, whatever. The Ravenoff. It's been 6 years since it disappears. Odds are everyone's dead. Odo says it all may be true, but it's not what he was going to say. He was going to say, good luck. Good luck. And you had a friend aboard it. Lord Akram. Which means it doesn't matter if he thinks there are no survivors, and even if she thinks there's no survivors, she's got to go looking for the ship. So all he can say is good luck. And he hopes he finds them. So Kira's getting all of her stuff together. And Cisco comes in. She said, Captain, are you here to see me off? He's like, I'm afraid not. He's asking you to postpone the trip for a day or two. Somehow the Cardassian government got wind of your search, and they've asked his permission to send somebody. She's like, you said yes? He said, I'd talk to you. The Rabanok was a Cardassian ship, but it was carrying Cardassian prisoners, she says. So Cisco is like, and she's like, I'm not stopping anybody else from looking. Why do they have to come with me? Cisco's like, the request came directly from the leader of the new civilian government, Nerys. I know this isn't what you had in mind. But Bajoran and Cardassia need to learn to work together. That means cooperating on issues like these. And Kira understands, even though she's not happy. Tell them she's not going to wait forever. You have to be here within 52 hours, or she's going alone. And 52 hours is, of course, the equivalent of saying 48 hours, because the Bajoran day is a little longer than the Earth day. Jeff Franklin puts in a very cool 3-star emoji. I don't think I've ever seen that before. So now Cisco and Dax are talking about, Dax is talking about getting serious. And there's Cassidy came up. Cassidy's not going to be leaving tomorrow after all. That's great, says Cisco. It all depends on if she gets this new job. She's applying for a position with the Bajoran Ministry of Commerce. He says, you're going to work for the Bajoran. She's like, if we can hammer out the agreement. Yeah, it's her own ship, own crew. And she doesn't have to leave the sector. And then Dax says, where are you going to live? Cassie says, well, I could live on my ship. And Dax says, why don't you live here? I'm sure Benjamin could arrange quarters. And Cassie says, it's not a bad idea. And Cisco's like, yeah. He's not so happy. Yes, you'll see him tonight. Uh-oh, Dax. That answers that. She's serious, says Dax. And I'm sure Cisco, being the emissary, could probably get her the job. Or not get her the job if he was so interested. So we got Cardassians want to be beamed directly into ops. Permission grant. Of course, we don't ask who it is. You don't ask for a name. It's just, it's Gul Dukat. Major Kira says he's ready to leave whenever she is. Now, Kira Nerys, Nana visitor. She really dislikes this actor. If you've seen the DS9 documentary, particularly the deleted scenes, even more so, there was a real dislike between her and the actor that played Gul Dukat. And I don't think she's acting here. Her anger at him, at just being there, just existing, I'm pretty sure this is legit. And he legit has a thing for her physically. So this is not as much acting as you would believe. A lot of this is just them together. Thomas Potts puts in I don't know, some type of orbit emoji, and Jeff Franklin is putting in all types of weapons. Wow, Jeff, you can't get on a plane with any of those. So Kira Newsom aboard the Ravenok, a prisoner. So she's on this reason for personal reasons. Is there something wrong with that? And Garrick Dukat says, no, not at all. Personal reasons can give you incentive. Who is it? A family member? A compatriot? A lover? Oh, the guy who recruited her into the Shakar resistance. She didn't say it wasn't a lover. It's like, the infamous Shakar resistance. We could never eliminate that group. It wasn't for lack of trying. He's like, I hope you don't take it the wrong way. He admired them. They're the embodiment of Bajoran. Bajoran, born out of the ashes of the occupation, tempered on Cardassian steel. And Kira says that Captain Sisko's right. You are in love with the sound of your voice. Gul Dukat says, in some ways, the occupation actually helped Bajor. And Kira says, which way? The massacres or the strip mining? He's like, I don't want to debate the occupation with you. We might have been a little harsh. But the fact is, your people are stronger now than they have been in centuries. When we arrived, you were a weak and timid race, choking on isolation. Now we have a new confidence, a whole new sense of purpose. They got rid of the caste system and a big role in the future of the entire quadrant. She's like, this is what Bajor inspired, in spite of the Cardassians, not because of them. Yeah. Gul Dukat says, the time will come when Cardassian and Bajor will grow, not only to be allies, but also close friends. And she says, Bajor and Cardassia? Maybe. You and me? I doubt it. He says, all I ask is if you have an open mind. She's like, shut up. That's enough. She would like to spend the next 6 hours in silent meditation. Is that a request or an order? She says, whatever it takes. He's like, well, then as much as it pains me, you'll leave her alone. He's smiling. She says, we both might survive this trip after all. Addie in stereo says, I'm still waiting for the Voyager episodes. Well, it's gonna be a while, Addie. It's gonna be a while. Yes, she took the job. Cassidy got the job. Congratulations, says Sisko. She says, that's it, and he gives her a kiss. She's like, that's not what I meant. She wants to know how he feels about it. Good, obviously. Great. He'll see you a lot more. She was thinking about what Dax said. Maybe she should get quarters on the station. And Sisko says that's a big step. He's like, what does that mean? Just meant big step. She's like, a big step or big step? Yeah, don't put words in my mouth. It's a good one. It's a good big step. Wow, she's mad that he's not more enthusiastic. He's like, I am enthusiastic. He's proud of you. The job. She's like, forget about the job. He's talking about us. I tell you, I'm thinking about moving on the station, and all you can say is it's a big step. He doesn't think she took it the way he meant it. She says, I don't think you know the way you meant it, but I do. You're afraid of commitment. He said, who said anything about commitment? It's obviously not you. You know what? Forget it. Forget it. It's off. I'm not going to take the job. If you don't want me to stay here, fine with me. He just starts eating his food. She starts drinking. Oh, almost drinking. Nope, she gets up. She's not even gonna stay for dinner. Doesn't even say anything. Thomas, is Cisco sleeping on the couch? No, Cisco's sleeping in his bed because they're not sharing quarters yet. Okay, so Kira brought Gul Dukat to meet her friend, and they're scanning it, and yes, the metal appears to be from the Rabbinoff. Says, why didn't you tell me you were bringing him along? She said she didn't know she was going to bring him. And he's like, too bad, the Marquis would have paid handsomely to get his hands on him. And Dukat says, my government would pay handsomely to get your hands on you. You're governor, you're a governor, smuggler, and thief. There's at least 12 outstanding warrants for him on Cardassia right now. He says, let's look beyond that and try to cooperate. Jeff Franklin, are those Marjan tiles? I don't know what you're putting up. Arabic Sanders is the guy that Data finally beat in season 2. Is it? Wow, time has been bad to him. Time has not been good. The Desaria system. There is a Class M planet in that system. Barely Class M. He found it in orbit. He didn't do any scans of life signs on the planet? Did she say his name was Fresca? Like the drink? She owes him one. Well, he's got ways he can think. She doesn't understand how the Rabbinoff could have gotten so far off course. It's light years away from where they should have been. He said the Central Command always believed it was destroyed in some type of escape attempt by the Bajoran prisoners. They could have had some problem with navigational array or subspace interference. Jeff Franklin is putting in the biohazard symbol. No, radiation symbol. Jeff Franklin is radioactive. He's had too much Fukushima special. Faint magneton signature. Could be a damaged warp nacelle. Don't beam down. All the ionic interference is gonna scatter their molecules. They're gonna have to land. He says it's gonna be a difficult landing. He offers to take the controls. And Kira says, no way. No way. And they just landed. We didn't see any reason why it'd be hard. So the Cardassian heat, she's happy. They're in the desert. Cardassians love the heat. She's like, only Cardassians would call this heat lovely. And this is what Cardassians live for, the temperature. Kira is not so happy. They come up over a hill, and they see what looks like a crashed ship or some type of cave, and certainly there's people. Okay, so back on DS9, and now it's a big step. Dax is talking with Cisco. So that's all he said, a big step. And Julian said it could have been open to interpretation. It could have been worse. He could have said it could be a very big step. And Dax like, you didn't say that, did you? And Cisco's like, I don't think I did. So Bashir said, let's ask Dax, what does he do? Says it's simple. You go to Cassidy, says everything was his fault, pledges his undying love. And Bashir says, what if he just goes to her, says it was a misunderstanding, and you'd like her to live in the station? And now Quark comes in. Quark wants to answer. He says, I don't recall asking your opinion. And Quark says, maybe you should. Who knows more about women than him? He's like, you humans. All you try to do is please your women. You want them to be your friends, but us Ferengi, we know better. Women are the enemy, and you treat them accordingly. The key is to never let them get the upper hand. If she says she doesn't see you enough, threaten to see her even less. She wants more gifts. Take back the ones you already gave her. It's all about control. And Dax says, and what if the woman leaves you? And I don't know what he said. I think he said that's what divorces are for? I don't know. Bashir says it's a wonder if Ferengi even reproduce at all. I think he said that's what contracts are for. Not Ryan Johnson says, Bird of Prey, don't worry about Jeff Franklin. I think he's still recovering from the Titanic incident. Yes. Addie in Stereo says, women are the enemy. Truer words have never been spoken. Okay, so we got a ship that's been crashed with phaser hits. Looks like she put up quite a fight, says Dukat. Paid for it, says Kira. So we got some buried bodies. "12 graves. There were 18 crew members and 32 prisoners. So where's everybody else?" Dukat says, first things first. He needs to identify the bodies. Kira will help. Dukat says no. Our funeral rites are very strict. It would dishonor the dead for a non-Cardassian to view the remains. He's like, there could be Bajorans buried here too. He says, no doubt, but if his memory is correct, Bajorans are much more concerned with the souls of the dead than the physical remains. How did Kai Marissa put it? What remains after death is but a shell, a sign. Pa has begun its final journey to the prophets. Very Klingon of them. He says, don't make this any more difficult than it already is. Just let him look at the bodies. She has a list of the missing Bajorans. She should be able to identify them from the family implant on the earrings. She's going to work on the Ravenok. She should be able to get something from the computer. He says, you need the command codes. He's like, she's got him from Bajoran intelligence. He doesn't need his help. It amazes me that the computers turn on after all this time. It looks like a Bajoran earring he found. Maybe a bracelet. And he's clearly distressed. Well, she comes out. She's talking to Dukat. She sees him in quiet contemplation. Dukat. What was her name? Says Kira. I recognize the Bajoran pledge bracelet when she sees one. Her name was Tora. A friend. You see, Major, you're not the only one who had a friend aboard the ship. Like a friend, is that all she was? And he's like, I see. She's like, I see. Like, don't worry, Dukat. You're not the only Cardassian officer who kept a Bajoran mistress. They loved each other. Like the leader of the occupation in love with a Bajoran. This is ironic. Did his wife know? No, his wife didn't know. And she's never going to find out. And if you don't mind, he doesn't want to talk about it right now. He says, here's the earring she wanted. He's looking through the earrings. If Lord's dead, he's not buried here. According to ship's computer, the Ravenok was attacked by 2 unidentified warships. The attackers chased them and forced them to crash land. Like, so the survivors could have been captured and be taken away. Curious that they could be somewhere on the planet. Oh, he says we should go to runabout and scan for them from orbit. He says no, too much interference. There may be another way. The tricorder readings only be about 12 meters. That should be enough. So, during the occupation, Bajoran resistance fighters carried subdermal implants. So, if they could activate the implant, which would leave a trail of isotopes. They could be followed and recovered. So there we go. They have a trail of isotopes. Jeff Franklin says, Bird of Prey, do you have a trilithium device? Jeff, I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of a trilithium device. Aunt Debbie. And Gul Dukat got stabbed. He sat on something. He's got a pain in his butt. He's got a pain in his butt. He's like, get it out, get it out. He's like, it's gonna hurt. He's like, it already hurts. Just take it out. Oh. Oh, man. He's not happy. Thomas says, Jeff can survive the Titanic, Black Death, Pearl Harbor, pillaging of Rome, alien invasion, and many other stuff, but one flight with Bird of Prey and he's doomed. And Jeff says, so the answer is yes. So poor Gul Dukat can't sit down, and Kira's laughing at him. He's like, this isn't funny. He's like, it is from this angle. He's like, you know it's even funnier? This doesn't work. She's like, you have to activate it. Oh, there it is. A dermal regenerator. Oh, it feels so good. Using a dermal regenerator on your ass. Kira says you should eat one of these. Field rations. Wouldn't Cardassians have their own field rations? Like fish rations or something? And Kira says they've actually gotten a little worse. She's like, tell me something. Who's this Tora Ziyal? When she reactivated the Ravenok's computer, she downloaded the manifest. There were 2 civilians, in addition to the prisoner and crew. One was his friend, and then there was Tora Ziyal, 13-year-old girl. He says, I suppose she wouldn't told you she was a friend's sister. No, Ziyal's a Cardassian name. She only sees one explanation. Ziyal. Ziyal is the daughter, and you, yeah, and Dukat admits he was the father. Now she knows why you're in such a hurry to find the survivors. You're hoping she's still alive and you can rescue her. But that's not why Dukat is trying. He's honest. He says, not quite. If my daughter is still alive, he'll have no choice but to kill her. And Kira's like, what? What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Gull? So it's the next day, and Kira's like, I'm not going to let you kill her. And Dukat's like, why don't you worry about your issues? I'll worry about mine. She's my daughter. It's just a late-term abortion. I don't understand what the problem is. He's got 7 children. They're his family. He's like, well, you should have thought about that before you got involved with Naprim. He's like, but I made a mistake I intend to correct. She said, you don't have to take her back to Cardassia. You could take her to Bajoran. No one has to know he's the father. He's like, what type of life would that be for her? You people never exactly welcomed half Cardassian children into society. That's why he sent her and her mother away in the first place. He knew the occupation was coming to an end. There'd be no place for them on Bajoran or Cardassia. They weren't supposed to come to a prison camp. The Ravnak was supposed to rendezvous with a freighter, which was going to take them to La Sepia, where they could live out the rest of their lives in some sort of peace. She's like, I don't care if you cared enough to help her then. Why would you kill her now? He says, because his position isn't nearly as stable as it was. And finding himself a new civilian government, he's made many enemies. Enemies that wouldn't hesitate to use Ziyal against him. It's not your wife and your 7 children you're protecting, it's you. He says, by protecting me, I'm protecting them. Not Ryan Johnson, says Thomas Potts. One flight with Bird of Prey and everyone is doomed. Jeff says, Bird of Prey, can you confirm that you have a quad lithium device? Yes. Of course. And the quint lithium is coming along nicely. He will weep over her grave, just as he wept over her mother's, but it's not going to stop him from doing what he has to do. He says, when the time comes, I suggest you stay out of his way. Greetings, Wesley Crusher. Qapla, Wes. So Cisco comes in, says good morning to Jake. Having some OJ and some cereal. Nog and I ran into Cassidy at the Vulcan restaurant. He says she guesses she's not going to take that job after all. And he said, did she say why? Jake said, she said that Cisco didn't want her to take it. And Cisco says, Jake, sometimes things can get a little complicated. He's like, maybe, but I don't think it's one of those times. Pretty simple, you're scared. He's like, what do I have to be afraid of? He's like, a lot. She's willing to make a major change in her life just to be close to you. If things don't work out, you're going to feel responsible. So Cisco's like, so you came at this to yourself by yourself? And Jake says, no, I talked to Nog about it. So now Cisco is like, you talked to Nog about my relationship with Cassidy? And he says, we both think that it's Cassidy's, if it's on Cassidy. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's not on you. He's like, have you told any of this to Cassidy? He said, well, we thought about it, but we thought it'd be better if it came from you. Aroo! Greetings, Wesley. No, this is not a holodeck episode. This is real. Wesley says, is Thomas Potts here? Thomas says, no, Breen. What are they doing here? Is this the first time we've seen the Breen? I don't remember. Did we see the Breen in the Next Generation? I'm not sure. I feel like we've probably seen the Breen, but I don't remember seeing it before them. So the Breen is a frozen homeworld that they're wearing some type of suit. He does admire their ingenuity. He sees something. He sees that it's Ziyal. It's a 13-year-old, well now 17-year-old girl. It's his daughter. She's alive. She's handing out soup. Thomas says the Breen are mentioned in TNG but not seen. Thank you, Thomas. Okay, so you're going to need to get some help. He's going to stay here while Dukat goes to DS9 and gets reinforcements. And Dukat says, I have a better idea. I'll stay here while you go get reinforcements. And Kira's like, I'm ordering you. He's like, well, I'm not leaving you here alone. He's like, then I guess we devise a plan to rescue those prisoners together. You need me, Major. He's like, maybe I do. But if you hurt that girl, I promise I'll kill you. So Kira and Dukat are going to take down God knows how many armed Breen and rescue all the prisoners. Isn't it surprising that they could fit in the Breen costume? Gather as many prisoners as you can to meet here. There's always at least eight Breen in the mines. Lord Akram died in a cave-in 2 years ago. He was a friend. He says, my condolences, Major, and they're shocked to see a Cardassian face. He says, tell them where Tora Ziyal. He's like, where? It's a Cardassian, I don't understand. And Kira says, there's a peace treaty. And he's like, the occupation is over? He didn't even know the occupation was over. And Dukat's like, I need to find the girl. Where is she? And Dukat goes off to find Ziyal. And the Bajoran is fighting the Breen. Okay, so the Bajorans are picking up guns. Who's that Breen? Oh, what are they taking prisoners? Are they taking Breen prisoners? Just shoot them. I don't understand what they're going to do with a Breen prisoner. And so he's like, where is Tora Ziyal? And that he knocked that one out cold. She's getting water from like a waterfall. And here's the touching reunion. Ziyal! She recognizes him, Father! She's so happy it's really you. And he aims the gun at her. She's like, what's the matter? Well, what's wrong? I have to kill you. And Kira has the gun at Dukat. Don't you do it. Man, she looks crazy in this Breen uniform. It's like, he's like, I don't have a choice. She's like, there's always a choice. You don't want to do this. If you did, you never would have told me about Ziyal. Says, no. Ziyal walks up to him. Like, you're going to shoot me. Cardassian prisoners. They told me this would happen. That you would never let me go home. She didn't believe them. Kira's saying, Ziyal, run. No, she's done running. She used to dream about him coming to save her. It's what kept her alive. Dukat's like, Ziyal! Aw. She's like, if I can't be with you, then she'd rather die. And Dukat puts down the gun and puts out his arms. Aw, he's hugging his daughter. What a lovely, touching moment. Love won out. Love won out. He says, let's go home. And she is so happy. And Kira is shocked. She puts down her gun. And now Cisco comes to see Cassidy. Cassidy has him hold something. He's like, about the job at the Bajoran Commerce Ministry. It's like, do you know someone who's qualified? He's like, I know someone who'd be perfect. You. I think you should take the job. I want you to take the job. Says, you've been talking to Jake. Said, he's a smart boy. Must take after his mother. Cisco says, I owe you an apology. You came to tell me all this wonderful news. And all he could say was, it's a big step. He's like, I don't know what I was thinking. He's like, take a guess. I wanted to tell you how happy I was for us, but it didn't come out that way. It's just that I can't help but think in 20 years, you're going to take a job on a different show and a different franchise, and we're never going to see each other again. He hasn't been in a serious relationship for a long time, and he didn't expect to be in one so soon. Until he met you. Aw. The life he leads. The job he does. It's what got Jennifer killed. If anything ever happened to her, she said, let me worry about that. It's not like I'm a Maquis terrorist. Oh, wait. She could stay here and listen to him apologize all day, but she's got to get... Oh, she's like, I know what you thought, but she took the job. Do you think I'd give up a great opportunity just because he had cold feet? You're a good man, Benjamin, but you got a lot to learn about women, especially that one. She's like, he can help her pick out quarters when she gets back. Oh, she doesn't kiss him. She doesn't kiss him. Denied. Denied. Blocked. Cinnabon says his bully crusher here. Wesley says no one cares. Dax wishes she was there with Gul Dukat. He says, where's Ziyal? She's on a ship. They'll be leaving shortly. Dax says she'll leave the two of them alone. He just wanted, Dukat just wants to say thank you for a most interesting journey. Says you're taking Ziyal back to Cardassia. He says after 6 years, she deserves a home and a father. He says, won't that make things difficult for him? Dukat says, I'll let you know. Man, the man is just intimidating. You know you're secretly in love with him. She's not. And there we go, the end of the episode. And yes, Ziyal does become a recurring character. She ends up moving to the station at one point. She ends up dying at one point. Spoilers, she ends up dying. Not for a couple seasons, I think. But, yeah. It's a biggie. She becomes an important person. And I'll be honest, a little surprisingly, it's a little creepy that she ends up having, I don't know, a relationship of some type with Garrick, a man that's clearly older than her father. Just because he's the only Cardassian on the station. She is half Bajoran, and there's no rule that you can only date or see people that are your race, right? I mean, it's the 2380s or 2370s. You can certainly find, I'm sure, willing boyfriends and whatnots outside of your race. But for whatever reason, it's Garrick who she spends her time with. They may be more than just friends. I don't know. But it's a weird one. It is a weird one. Carlo Albanese puts in a Karogan flag. Thank you, Carlo. And Wesley says, Bird of Prey, Cinnabon calls me a bully, and Thomas calls me a liar, and these allegations need to be stopped. Turdistani lies. Well, yeah, that's the thing about Turdistanis. All they do is lie, lie, lie. It's what they do. It's what they do. I don't say they do the best, but it's what they just constantly do. They love to lie. So the best thing to do is to just put up with it, deal with it, and whatnot. The attendant says changes actress. Do they change the actress? I didn't notice. If the actress changes, I don't notice. And Thomas says Cinnabon isn't Turdistan. That's true. Roxad says how Dukat recognizes his daughter when the actress keeps changing. I don't know. I'm guessing because they just say, hey, this is Ziyal, your daughter. The only half Bajoran, the only Cardassian with nose ridges and an earring. I guess. So, yeah. Definitely creepy AF for Garrick to be spending so much time with her, especially when him and Dukat were such bitter enemies. But I'm going to go ahead and play the time travel challenge one more time for people who might not have been here the first time I played it. And I will remind you guys, so coming up the week of my birthday, I will have out the full 10-minute challenge where I speak to myself, a video I send to myself 25 years in the past. 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes to send your 25 year ago, if you weren't born 25 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever. But for me, it's going to be 25 years in the past. I'm going to send myself a 10-minute video, like on the off chance I can send it through time. What would I tell myself 25 years ago? And I challenge everybody to make similar videos by the end of the year. Maybe for New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, if you don't have a birthday or something coming up. Some, for Christmas or New Year, whatever. Think about it. Think about it. And I'll have mine for the week of November 13th sometime. Best episode in a long time, one of your favorite. And yes, 25 years later, you are still talking about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. You need to be ready. I will have a 10.
Hello, I am Thomas Pitts, the tourism minister of Turdistan. There are some fabulous vacation spots in Turdistan. Wave to the people on the slowest roller coaster in the world, the Turdistani trip. Top speed of 2 mm per hour. Take your special someone to the Turdistani tunnel of love. By the time you reach the other end you'll be covered in love juice. Shower recommended. Ponder away at the Turdistani Museum of Ancient History. One day you may be the one to figure out what this used to be.
Hello, Joe. It's me, future you. If you're getting this right, I am contacting you from 25 years in the future. You should be seeing this shortly before Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4, Episode 5, Indiscretion is about to air on WPIX TV, Channel 11. You are watching in your bedroom in Canarsie, Brooklyn. You are still 16 years old. Your 17th birthday is a couple weeks away, and there is so much for me to tell you. I only have a few minutes. I need you to be ready on November 13th, the night of your birthday. There will be another Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode, Little Green Men, the best episode in a long time, one of your favorite episodes of Star Trek. And yes, 25 years later, you are still talking about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. You need to be ready. I will have a 10-minute message. I only have a minute or so left to go before the space-time continuum breaks down. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to give you for proof. Tonight's episode, there's a Gul Dukat has a daughter, and yes, she becomes a recurring character on the show, but there's no way to prove that. I guess I could have read it in TV Guide, but you and I both know I don't read TV Guide. What could I do to prove it to you? I don't know. I didn't expect to open this portal. I didn't look up any lottery numbers. Buy stock. I don't know. Yahoo, Google, anything that sounds familiar, buy those stocks, but don't do too much. It's gonna be a shitty few years, but for the most part, everything will be okay. I gotta go. I'm losing signal. In 2 weeks, your birthday, November 13th. Come back, watch Deep Space Nine. The episode will be Little Green Men. I will have a full 10 minutes, and I will do some research, and I will tell you about your future. Hang on, and I will see you then. Just for God's sakes, don't do anything stupid. Okay, you got to still act like I didn't tell you this, or else the whole.
Hello, I am Thomas Pitts, the Tourism Minister of Turdistan. There are some fabulous vacation spots in Turdistan. Wave to the people on the slowest roller coaster in the world, the Turdistani trip. Top speed of 2 mm per hour. Take your special someone to the Turdistani tunnel of love. By the time you reach the other end you'll be covered in love juice. Shower recommended. Ponder away at the Turdistani Museum of Ancient History. One day you may be the one to figure out what this used to be.
I'm back. Sorry about that. Yeah, I should have known about the sound the first time. Yeah, the Turdistani Tunnel of Love, Thomas Pitts, the Turdistan travel minister, that was snuck out of Turdistan. That's what they're trying to use to entice people to come to Turdistan. Man, they're going to have a lot of trouble. Not Ryan Johnson says, looks like a light-skinned Zoidberg. Mountains Elysium of Turdistan, the Star Trek Discovery writing room. Dr. Scotty Qapla says, Bird of Prey, let the younger version of Joe know that he should go for the blonde. Wesley says, Bird of Prey, come on, tell yourself to buy Amazon and that AOC is hot. Yeah, Amazon. I should have told myself to buy Amazon. That was still, it's going to be in the 10-minute version. 47 New York Times says love juice. So that's what they call it. That's what they call it in Kurdistan. That's what they call it in Kurdistan. So I'm going to work on like literally what I will tell my 17-year-old self on my 17th birthday. How could I change my life for the better? The world's life. Do I want to tell myself about major events? Would I feel guilty if I told myself about 9/11 and then I couldn't prevent it? Would I just feel so guilty that it would destroy me? So maybe I shouldn't tell myself about it. I don't know. That's something I've got to think about. I think it's something we should probably discuss in a live stream one day. Is that something you would tell yourself? What are the repercussions of telling yourself? I mean, what could one person who's not part of government, not an FBI agent, just a teenager in Brooklyn, what really could I do to prevent 9/11, even with 5 or 6 years notice? I don't know. I mean, yeah, I would tell my friend, to his dad, I would tell him, don't go to work that day. However I could, I'd find a way to tell him not to go to work. But I don't know that I could stop. I don't know that I could stop it. I don't know that I could try. I don't know that I could, in 10 minutes, I don't think I could give enough information to prevent it from happening. And to be honest, if that doesn't happen, who's to say something else worse doesn't happen, 6 months later? Obviously, after that, we totally changed the way we did things. We got more serious about fighting against terrorism. Yeah, we did a lot of shitty things, don't get me wrong, but we did do some things clearly to help stop some terrorism. So I don't know. These are questions we've got to answer. These are going to be uncomfortable questions. And to be honest, the way I'm feeling right now, I would say I probably wouldn't want to tell myself, because I wouldn't want to risk myself feeling guilty for not being able to stop something. Thomas Potts is Bird of Prey. Thomas Poops is the Kurdistani travel minister. Well, I think it's Thomas Pitts, but whatever. Norman Buckwild says, tell Tubin to turn the webcam off before he thinks of doing anything. Dr. Scotty says, Thomas Potts, how much were you paid to support Kurdistan? It had to be a lot. And Positive Candor, Qapla, Positive Candor. And Thomas says, Dr. Scotty, nothing. Kurdistan is the land of freedom. Sure it is. The freedom to travel through sewer pipes. But with that, guys, I'm going to get going. Tonight, I will probably be asleep before the Life with Matthew stream. Otherwise, I'll see you there, but I'll probably be asleep. I plan to watch Star Trek Discovery in the early morning hours, probably like 5 or 6 a.m. my time. As soon as I awake, I'll watch it. I'll try to review it, try to get my review uploaded. And then around at 9 a.m. Eastern, I will be on Loki's Mornings of Mischief to review Star Trek Discovery with Loki and probably several other people. So watch for me there. And then Thursday night, I plan to, on the Bird of Prey 5X channel, comment on the debate. The debate, the presidential debate. Now, I won't have the debate playing, so you have your own source for watching or listening to the debate, but I will comment on what's going on the debate. That will be on the Bird of Prey 5X channel. I believe 9 p.m. or so Eastern, the debate starts tomorrow night. And then Friday, bed life, and we're back to normal. This Saturday, Cinema Saturday, is War Games. And then Cinema Sunday, I think we finish up season 2 of Futurama. Teague of Doom says Hunter Biden. Wesley says, would you not warn yourself about the coma? Avoid the coma. Yes, of course, Wes. I would definitely warn myself about the coma. Now, if all went well, I would probably not be in the condition I was to be in the coma to begin with, because I would like to change things up quite a bit. One of the things, I mean, going into 2001 and 2, I was quite in shape, and I kind of let myself fall out of shape over the next 8 years, and that contributed to me getting in the coma in all likelihood. So I will explain to myself that I've got to keep fighting to keep my weight down. I do really good. I do really good for 5 or 6 years. But then after I get my job, and especially after my boss dies, after 9/11, I get depressed and I start not caring anymore. And I will explain to myself I've got to keep caring. That is number one. So that will definitely take up a good chunk. I've got to talk to myself about my dad, because he's going to have kidney problems. I've got to talk about my family. Sissopray says she doesn't want to know, so I guess I won't tell her much about her life. But yeah, there's changes I want to see in mine. And yes, I need to tell myself to actually visit Australia and make a great Australian accent. Carlos says, Bird of Prey, we will miss you when I never know you, but still Karogan at heart. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. And yes, we will. Karoga must survive. So I will tell myself that I must come to Anti-Tracker's channel on YouTube, assuming I haven't stopped Alex Kurtzman from creating Discovery. I have to come to Anti-Tracker or Lore Reloaded channel and say hello to all you guys. So I'll put that in too. With that, guys, we're going to end it here. Have a great night. Qapla all, and I will see you. I'll see you later. See you later on the streams. Bird out. Thank you all for watching my video. Please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. Without it, you won't get notifications of new videos. Check out BirdoPrey5.com, the new home of everything BirdoPrey5 on the web. You can also check out my forum at juot.net. I'm also on social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Gab. If you'd like to make a donation, check out paypal.me/BirdoPrey5 or on BirdoPrey5.com. Take care.